Well, Dr. Kessler, thank you for being here. I guess to start, can you kind of talk a little bit about your ministry background and experience?
Before I joined the faculty, I was a pastor in central Illinois, which about 45 minutes south of Peoria, in a little town called Green Valley, a town of about 700 people. And served there for 9 years before they invited me to come and join the pastoral department. And I've been here on the pastoral department for the last 21 years.
Just in your experience or in your thoughts, what are some of the main sources of conflict in churches today?
Most of the time, I think conflict is a function of difference in perspective.
Sure.
I want one thing, somebody else wants something else. I think we should go over here. Somebody else thinks we should go over there. I think that conflict in the context of leadership is sometimes also as a result of personality. People react to the way that I'm leading. In fact, that really may actually be more important than the direction that I'm trying to move in, that I'm trying to go over here. And it may not be that they're so much opposed to the destination as they're reacting to the way I'm trying to get them there. And so they're reacting to me personally, which becomes complicated then, because I do have a certain kind of personality. I lead with a certain type of style. I probably can't completely divorce myself from it. I can maybe moderate somewhat. I can learn some skills that will help me to lead better. I think those are probably the two main roots for conflict, is when we're trying to do different things or the way that I'm going about it doesn't agree with you.
Sure. And what are maybe some of those skills that a pastor can kind of develop that might help him help a church navigate through conflict?
I think you have to be willing to go slowly in congregational life. I think I call this pastoral physics, that the way pastors think about things and the way church leaders think about things and the way that the congregation thinks about things, they're all on a different sort of time continuum, because the pastor's always thinking about it. The pastor typically is, it's vocation. So when I'm in ministry, I was thinking about the church pretty much 24. As long as I was awake, I was usually thinking about the church. So if I get some kind of an idea, I can put 20, 30 hours of thought into it before I go to the church leaders and talk to them about it. So I come into the meeting, I talk to them about it. They've never even thought about it. And so they're a little bit reserved. Of course, I'm frustrated because I've perfected it by then. If I'm patient, maybe it'll take several months before we kind of work through it and we're all on the same page. So now it's time to go to the congregation, right? So we're all excited about it. We take to the congregation. It's the first time they've ever heard about it. So we're going. We're going at super fast. They're going slower than us, and the congregation is going slower than both of us. So it really requires a measure of patience if I'm going to exercise leadership.
Sure. I guess to newer pastors, what are some of the common mistakes these pastors might make in trying to do that and trying to help a church walk through conflict or transition?
The biggest mistake for new pastors is coming into the church with a vision. Right. I once did this exercise in my pastoral theology class where I said, and these are all undergraduate students, students in their late teens and early 20s, and I said, how many of you know what the first 3 changes you're going to make in your pastoral ministry? About half the class raised their hand. Of course, the problem with this is at this point, they have no idea where they're going to be serving, right? You don't know anything about the context, but you already have a sense of, when I get in there, I'm going to change something. Now imagine a church that's got 30 years, 100 years. So I think the number one mistake is that young pastors come in biased toward change without regard for the culture or the past, and immediately begin to try to sort of blow things up. And then they're surprised when people get upset. So in that case, you really want to go in as a student of the culture, try to understand what they're doing, why they do it, what their history has been. As an outsider, you probably have a better perspective on some of the things that need to change, but you don't yet have the credibility to make those changes.
Right. Well, Dr. Kessler, thank you for your time.
Yes,
I
thank
appreciate
you,
the
Cole.
interview.